This is your weekend market review for Saturday, December 2nd, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your weekend market review for Saturday, December 2nd, 2023. Interesting week. Definitely a roller coaster of emotions with chop and slop and then the pop on Friday. We need to dig through the evidence. It's getting rather interesting out there. I'd have to say that the market has gone from extremely oversold to extremely overbought, and we'll see what happens here. Now, again, a lot of people are anticipating more of a Santa Claus rally. I would argue we've priced that in, and we're looking way more like 1973, which is absolutely dangerous. And now, again, I know a lot of people will argue, well, what does that mean? And it's like, here, I'll show it again. Here's 1973 to 74. If the Feds pause and cut rates shortly with GDP at 5.2%, which again, we think is fake and manipulated, will inflation just rage back? And then the Feds will have to go stronger to higher interest rates to slow everything down. Again, they are in an extremely difficult position, caught between a rock and a hard place. So let's talk about everything. We'll continue to move forward. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out. Always here for you guys. I appreciate all the love, support. Again, if you have questions about real estate, anything, do not be shy. Again, tradingagent.com. Getting a refresh, you'll see it. Markets count 5.4%. Use the interactive brokers code, back to basics, to get $1,000 potentially shares. We talked about it. Please do not assume financials are all good. Get the Back to Basics education series. Should be interesting with the new website. You'll love the look of it. Again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Did a live chat today. I thought it was really interesting. Think you guys will enjoy it. Again, Twitter, follow, like, subscribe. Yeah, showed people today the MLS from Denver, and it's crazy. The houses that are going in price decreases couldn't be any faster. Literally, like everything goes on the market, boom. 2 weeks later, price decrease. Boom, price decrease. Boom. All right, Fed Watch Tool. This is where it's getting real dicey. Again, the ISM manufacturing came out. Check this out, y'all. Now the Fed, look at this, 55% now in March. Remember, May was like, we'll see. Now you're literally getting the price cut in March. I'm pretty sure. Let's look at January. Yeah. It's starting to pop up. Things are starting to slow down. And I've told you guys what's going on. It's just a matter of when and if. So the Bitcoin riding the channel high. Got to give it credit for holding up. Again, Powell came out today. Seemed pretty dovish. Again, we'll see how this all works out. Just be careful out there. Oil, we've talked about all over the place. Oil is pricing in the recession. Markets seem to be ignoring it. But this is the thing. Tech is starting to wake up to the fact that things will be slowing. Natural gas, we talked about. At some point, this is going to be a screaming buy. Just don't know when. Probably, no, actually we do. It's probably going to be when the Feds pivot. But it could be before then. That's the hard thing right now, because you're looking at certain commodities. You can't argue that they haven't been holding up. And again, the dollar weakening, strengthening. I don't know. We'll see. We talked about the 29 levels holding on the dollar. So far, it is. TLT got a little boost in the afternoon. Again, I'm not surprised. New money, new month. It's just interesting seeing the volume at the close. Here, check out the 10-minute. Interesting. A lot of people piling in the bonds. We'll see. Is the market about the recession kicking in? VIX, a gift down here. Again, it's hard to know when the right time. Hard to know. But again, the odds are in your favor. Again, if you have pocket aces, if you're shorting, if you have tight discipline, stops, giving yourself time, I think you will be 1,000% correct. It's just a matter of when. VIX is, again, waking up. Waking up. It should be down in the 80 level. It's holding up really well. Look at the doji. SPY. Again, man, you hit 4,600 on the ES. I'm impressed. Retesting the highs. Squeezing. Interesting. Again, you can't argue with it. Maybe if the Fed's about to go full QE. I don't know. QQQ is starting to not follow. That's the thing here. That is the big iota. IWM, they got it to 185. I am amazed. I am absolutely amazed today. Action. Again, if you had longs, you had to stop out. There are shorts, you had to stop out on this thing. Again, can we get to the 0.618? Could we get up to 187? With all the calls out there, I'm rather impressed. Again, when you zoom out to the weekly, the monthly, I mean, you can see you're just catching up to some areas. Right? We have a little bit higher to go potentially if you wanted to call what I would think to be the impenetrable zone. that's a word. Impenetrable. Yeah, yes, it is. Not an English major math guy. Dia rally today. Again, rally, Caterpillar, some of these names like, whew, wow. Like wowzers. Like Dow is back near the all-time highs. This feels again like the 1973 trap. We'll see what happens. Gold. Again, when Pow Daddy got dovish, gold rally. Now, this is what I always struggle with because, again, I mean, we talk about longer term. It's a big cup and handle. We've explained that 1,000 times, so I need to really zoom out. But anyway, point being, do we trust gold to break out? I mean, you'll like that weekly bar, but could it be one of these followed up? Keep an eye on it because, again, I don't know if, again, everyone's talking about the Fed pivot, but here's the problem, though. Is again, when they throw the baby out with the bathwater, these banks, all of these institutions, hedge funds start struggling, bussing. They sell the good with the bad. And again, I don't think gold, maybe even Bitcoin, some of these names are going to actually get smoked, like the miners will. Some of the commodities, I don't. Silver holding up pretty well. Got to give it credit. It's finally back at the highs, which we thought. GDX, we talked about this. Head and shoulders bottom. Could it rally up to the filling the gap? Maybe 32s, the old trend line. Because once it got over the 200-day, I was like, uh-oh. Again, not telling anyone to short this, but if you're looking at dust in like the 10 area, 10s, it doesn't look that bad with a tight stop. Again, just don't hold it naked. GDXJ, again, as we've talked about, lagging starting to catch up. But here, I mean, I just have to warn folks because people don't pay attention to this stuff. When the market dumps, miners do not get immunity. They just do not. I've always tried to warn people. You just don't. Oh, that's right, GDXJ here. You'll see it better on the GDX for the miners. Same thing, but look at this. Right, 2008, like they typically do not hold up. That's just the nature of the beast. AJ holding up again, near term, all looking okay. I'd be 200-day watching these levels. If you want to sell some cover calls, you want to sell some deep in the cover money cover calls, then you want to buy some out of the money calls as hedges. I mean, for if it breaking out, that to me might be the strategy. Collect a little premium, buy some calls, hedge it. I don't think these things are going to absolutely go bonkers. Newmont, we said watch out in the 41s, but this thing should be in the 50s, 60s. PAAS, same thing. Just watching it, chop, 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 chop. And you got questions, again, always reach out. Don't be scared. Taiwan Semi, we said watch the 100 level. Chopping. Micron, again, watch tech here. This has been the leader. We talked about this formation here with Micron is very repetitive. This long wick follow-up failure, right? I mean, I guess you could call that or whatever that. But again, this is what it typically does. It looks bearish to me. AMD, we said watch this low 120s. It's been chopping. Chop, chop. NVIDIA lagging hard, right? Just do below the 20-day. You would never think that would have happened with the market holding up. Intel, again, breaking. Getting into the weekly, we talked about this. You know, if you've been watching, following the channel, we said watch the 44, 45 area. Hit it, doink, rejected. Rejected. It's rather interesting, right? SMH, you would think this thing would be on fire. Nope, you got Doji. Look at the weekly again. Something doesn't look right. Just something doesn't look right. Just be aware. Again, tech let up. Will it start leading down? And I saw this today. Trash floats last. We saw a lot of trash today. Adobe, same thing, starting to fail. Apple, pop. Yeah, okay. It's just stuck. Stuck cheddar. Amazon, as we've talked about, which feels like a dozen times. Sell the rumor after Black Friday, and when the news hits it, chopping. CRM, this is, I mean, I got to give it credit. I thought this thing would fail at 250. It's starting to look like it wants to do what's called the head and shoulders dance. Or this is going to be like the middle finger formation. We'll see. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Again, I'm not saying you should go out there and run and short it, but I mean, I like tech. I do like tech. Right? It's just pick your names. Like Google, we talked about head and shoulders top. Look at this. Something doesn't look right. Meta said maybe this, you watch the highs. Look at this, below the 20-day. Why? Microsoft, been on fire. Now people say, oh, it's rotation and money. Okay, we'll see if it is. Hit some fibs. NDAQ, love it up here. 56, 55, we said it. There you go. MicroStrategy. All right, is Bitcoin going? Looks like it's trying. Netflix, another one. Hits our weekly trend line, hits some zones. Here, check it out. This is why you always start out on the monthly and weekly. Rejection. Railroad, left, right bars. Here you go. Doesn't look good. Roblox, we talked about. Like this thing a lot at some point when it's cheaper. Thing's going to be all over the place. Tesla, another one that should be flying high. Not so much. So just be careful. Costco, like the short, holding up, chopping around, is what it is. Starbucks, I mean, this thing has no reprieve. Again, you're buying your coffee. FedEx, transport's popped up today. I guess on oil dropping. Stopped out. Watch the levels. Be careful. Caterpillar, same thing. It's like, oil's down, but why is oil starting to flop? And again, I think the market can be irrational longer. You can stay solvent if you're not careful. And maybe watch the 252s if it gets back under it. Nucor, thought this thing would be up $4 or $5 a day, but had a nice run. Got to give it credit. This is where stops do their things. And now you got another reference level. That looks and feels like a blow off. X, we talked about getting bought out. Don't play around. Be careful with this one. VALE, I thought this would be up a little more. It's not. Nice up move. But Arrow, we talked about copper actually due to bounce, right? There you go. There's a little bounce, fills the gap. But again, will it sustain? CCJ, this thing has been absolutely on fire, leading. Maybe it's time to move this to there. Again, you're not going to be right every time, but it's starting to get a little funky up here. CF, again, we like ag names. Just wait for them to play out. People got to eat. It's interesting the volume's picking up, but I don't know if I trust it at this moment. Mosaic, chopping. And NTR, chopping. But nice little, again, you can trade these things if you have to. AA, I don't think there's some down, like a ton of downside. It's looking like we might try to get up to the 100-day, clear as day. XLF, give it credit. Credit where credit's due. Did not think we would get much higher. But again, when you zoom out, you're like, I guess it's possible. You don't want to sit here in denial and go, okay, maybe it's 36s. This is what it is. Again, this is trading, probability game. If anyone's telling you certainty, they're certainly lying because nobody's always winning. JP Morgan, back test the old trend line. I'm dumbfounded. Morgan Stanley, come to me. Okay, finally. I'm loving this 80 area. I was hoping for it. Bank of America, fake out, breakout. Fills a gap. Check that gap up at 30 to the left. Keep an eye on it. Goldman Sachs. I'm just you got to be kidding me. Another gap maybe at 350s. We'll see. Again, in general, be careful. Carry. Today, again, the trash floats last. Look at this. Trash. Fills gaps. Banks okay. We'll see. Again, I don't trust it. SCO, this one was all over the place. Sorry. XBI, we've talked about liking, watching this one. I'm amazed. We talked about you can't short the lows. I'm impressed by the close. But again, new money, new month, first of the day, first of the month, you might get a little more. IYT, look at some of these names. Or let me look at through here just since it's the Friday. Look at all these guys. Like XLB, just right? Okay. See what happens. XLI. Oh, sorry, XLE. We jumped to XLI Industrials. Look at this. Just okay. Big greens. We've seen a lot of tops with big greens. Look at the transports today with oil down. Everything is awesome. Okay. Watching the 250s. Housing, really? This feels like 2007, 2008 over. Really? We're literally seeing price decreases as fast as possible. Look at this candle. And this a low volume, big candle. We talk about anomalies. Low volume, big candles. Sometimes, again, those are usually markups, fake outs. Same thing. XRT's been just absolute poop. Rally? Okay. Keep an eye on it. I don't know. Ultimately, near term, but long term, it feels like an absolute trap. TAN. Same thing. We talked about these names, letting them bounce. Sedge. Oh, I'm sorry, the water in the wall is going nuts. Sedge, doing some laundry. ENPH, all these names. We talked about waiting, letting them play out. First Solar back into the zones. AutoZone. I'm just kidding. Is this commercial sponsored by? Get in the zone, AutoZone. Yeah, watching that area. Again, I'm impressed with HYG. I don't know why anyone, their mom would be buying corporate debt. You got to be stupid. It's the biggest, it's some of the riskiest crap out there. Be careful. Oil, as we've said, all over the place. Look at this stuff. Just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. UNG. Ugh, leave it alone. XOP, this is what's interesting, is the drillers, you would think with the market going haywire up, they'd be buying the drillers. Nope, they're not. Stuck. Cheddar. ExxonMobil, again, up a whopping 25 cents. Stuck at the lows. Occidental, down 32 cents. Making what? New lows. What is going on here? Something is up. right? MPC, again, chopping around this 150s area. Valero, same thing. Like any pop gets sold, right? We talked about Exxon. EQT, same thing. Like you would think these things would be on fire. Nope. Flex LNG to end it. If you have any questions, again, please reach out. Do not hesitate. We like natural gas. I mean, a lot of people like go green, but I'm telling you, we're going to be exporting this stuff out of opinion. Keep an eye on this. If you have any questions, again, please reach out. Don't hesitate. It's not an easy market all the time. Sometimes people get stressed out by the chop, and that's the reality. It happens. Talk to you guys and gals later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.